Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Wonderful to have everybody here. Again, a reminder that if anybody could help us out for the first days of Yom Tov, we will have a minyan, but we're tight. So if anybody is around that we don't know of, or could have guests, or could help us out, please let me know. And especially if somebody knows of a kohen, that would really be a real treat. We are sponsored by the Fisher family, the Nishim Spasi Bas Rabbi Shlomo ben Avraham Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. Also, Liling Nishmas David ben Chaim, Lefut Shalem, Rafal Yomis ben Chayesar, Yaakov ben Bas Yaleh, Schus of Avram Yom ben Nish ben Malk Yudis and family, by Yoel Klugen and family, Lefut Shalem for Shmuel Niyam ben Shivaleya, Rivka Bas Shivaleya, Chana Bas Shashabina, Mashmeh ben Esther, Father Yitzhak ben Tzim ben Dusha, Vigduaya ben Rivka, Hinda Bas Chayesara, Pinchas Menachem ben Leah, Meir ben Chayesara. They should have a Rafut Shalema b'Sech Sharcha Yisrael. Now, included in the Isser of Meila, Kol HaRoyel Mizbeach, that which is fit from Mizbeach, that's at Mishna Vav in the third parak. Kol HaRoyel Mizbeach, animals that are unblemished, which you're supposed to give to the Mizbeach, or let's say wine for the Nesachim, or flour for the Menachos, V'lo lebedek habayis, not for temple maintenance, not for building. Or lebedek habayis, things that are for building, like metal and silver and gold. V'lo lemizbeach, not for the mizbeach. Or lo lemizbeach, v'lo lebedek habayis, so not directly for the mizbeach or for temple maintenance, like food, which can't be used for building, but it could be sold, and the money can then be used towards bedek habayis. Mo'ilim bay, there's Meila. Ketzad. Now the Mishna gives us some examples. Hikdish bar malimayim. If a person is makdish a bar full of water. Now he says he's dedicating the bar, but we assume that he means also the water that's in it. Now the water is fit for bedek habayis because it can be mixed to make cement. Ashpa malei zevel, a dump full of manure, which is not fit for either mizbeach or bedek habayis, but it can be sold and then it could be used for bedek habayis. Shoivech malei yoinim, a dove cut full of doves, which is of course used for the mizbeach. Ilan malei peiris, which can be used for bikurim, or if it's grapes or olives, could be used for the mizbeach. Sada malei asavim, a field full of herbs, of grass, which can't be used for either the mizbeach or for bedek habayis. Moyel and bahem, there's mila in them, ubameshe b'seichen, and in the contexts. Avalimik bar, if he's makdish bar, va'ach kach nesmali mayim, and then it fills with water. And even though if we'll say that the water will become hektish because it's in the reshus of hektish, but since it wasn't directly sanctified, Rabbi Akiva Eiger says that there's no meila on it. Ashba va'akach nismala zevel, a dump, and then it got full with manure. Shoivech va'akach nismala yoinin, a doveko, and then it got full with doves. Elon va'akach nismala peiris, a tree, and then afterwards you grew fruit. Sada va'akach nismala asavim, and afterwards it got full with grass. Moilim behen ve'ein moilim b'meshe b'seichon. Rabbi Yehuda doesn't hold that there's meila even by gedulei hektish. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Reb Shimon says that which grows from hektish is like hektish, and there is meila. Reb Shimon makdish soda ve'ilan, one of his makdish a field or tree, moilim behem ubi geduleihem, there is meila for what grows from it, mepnei shein gedulei hektish. Vlad me'useres, if let's say an animal has a baby, and then it's the 10th one out of the corral, and it becomes meiser. So now the baby can't nurse from the mother because it has kedushas meiser. Lo yinak min amuseres. Now let's say he doesn't have any other milk, so v'acherim misnadvin came. People donate that he should have what to give the child to, like a milkamach. They have that in Lakewood, milkamachs. Vlad mukdoshin, the same thing. If a animal had a child and then you're makdish the animal, lo yinak men hamakdashim. The animal can't be yonik from the mother because it can't be yonik from hektish. V'acheir misnadvin came, so other people give him milk to feed the baby. Now, finally, what a long Mishnah. Normally, workers are allowed to eat when they're doing a finishing act. They're allowed to eat from where they are working. But if they work for Hekdesh, they can't eat from the figs of Hekdesh. And so too, normally you can't muzzle an animal while it's working, but a cow, can't eat from the vetch of Hekdesh. Now, Mishna Zayin, Shorshe Ilon Shel Hedyot, roots of my tree that's born b'shel Hekdesh. If the first 16 amas of the roots of my tree that belong to my tree enter in the rishus of Hekdesh, or b'shel Hekdesh, or roots, this is the way the Gemara learns it, or roots that are after 16 amas, that are born b'shel Hekdesh, that come into my rishus, loinenen, you're not allowed to benefit from it. In the first case, because it came from Hekdesh. In the first case, because it's really my roots, because it's the first 16 amas. And the second case, even though it's more than 16 amas, but it comes from Hekdesh's property, loineni, you can't benefit v'loy Meila, but there's no Meila. Hamayan, let's say a spring starts outside of Hekdesh, and then it flows through Hekdesh and flows out of Hekdesh. So Mayan Shuyoytse Mitoch Stei Hekdesh, if the water passes through the property of Hekdesh, loinanin v'loy Meila, there's no Meila because its source is not of Hekdesh, but once it passes through the property of Hekdesh, when it's on the property of Hekdesh, you're not allowed to benefit from it. But Yatzel Chutzel Sada, but when it leaves the property of Hekdesh, Nanim Mimenu, you could benefit from it. Now, what about the water of the Simchas Beis Sheheva? First, they take the water from the Shiloach and they put it into a jug of gold that's not sanctified. So, Amayim Shebekat Shel Zav, the water that's in the jug of gold, which is not sanctified, loinenen, since it was taken for the Nisramayim, you can't benefit, but loy Meila, since it was sanctified, there's no Meila. Nasna but sluchas, but once you put it in the pitcher, which is a clay shares, then Meila, then there's Meila. Arava, the Arava that they put very tall Aravas around the Mizbeach on Sukkot, so it's not sanctified, loy nenen, since it's set aside from the Mizbeach, but loy Meila, there's no Meila. However, the Zikanim did take from those Aravos and put them in their lulavim, because that's a mitzvah, and mitzvahs lav lahanas nitnu. Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Tzadok, Aimer, Noisnin, Hayamimena, Zikanim, Belulveim. They took some of these Aravos and put them in their lulavim, even though we said leinanin, but that's not considered anah, because mitzvahs lav lahanas nitnu. What else could I say? If anybody wants to do Mechiras Chametz, I'm available after Mariv. And Rav Chanani ben Akasha Amar Ratzak HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Zakar Yisrael L'Fikach Rebelem Torah Mitzvahs Shenam Adinai Chafetz Man Tzidka Yagdol Torah V'Yadeh.